If you scan thousands of photos, you're likely to learn a lesson or two. I'm Linda Satgas with FamilyHistoryHero.com, and in this video, I'll continue my interview with David Delgado, where he talks about his aha moment from scanning thousands of photos for friends. By the way, if you haven't seen the last interview video in this series, you'll find the link to it below this video. Now, here's David Delgado.
There's one other thing that's interesting about all this. When you're doing this for people, and you don't even, if you don't know the person, or you know the person but you don't know their pictures of their relatives or their parents or grandparents. And this had happened especially when I did videos. I was doing videos of old home movies. When you repeatedly see these folks, you kind of like get to know them in a way. It's because you see, especially in videos, you see them when they're younger, you know, they're kids, and you see them doing things, activities, and it really, you want to get to know these people.
Yeah.
And it's just, and I really got lucky on one case where I did a bunch of videos for this family, and I got to meet one of their moms who was in these videos, and my gosh, I started talking to her. I said,
"Oh wow!"
And I started talking to her about family stuff. God, I remember that time you ran over that fell off your bike, whatever. I'm talking to her like she's a member of my family because yeah, I remember that part, you know. So
doesn't it bring the person alive?
It does.
To know something about them, not just a name and a date.
Exactly.
Know, I call that the tombstone history. You know,
Yeah.
You've got the name, you've got the date they were born, the date they died.
Yeah.
But nothing in between.
Yeah, and this is why I've always liked old photos, because I look at them and I just wonder, you know, what the story behind that is, or what these people, what they did, what they were like. That's just one of my things, you know.
Yeah. So, and you can do that for your kids, though. You can fill in some of those details.
Yeah.
That they will not remember for them. So that's where the family historian part also comes in, is attaching the story to the photos.
And I think that it's reflected in our lives. My wife and I, ever since they were born, we've always talked about things they did when they were young, and mainly because I didn't have that when I was growing up, you know. And so it's kind of an automatic thing with us. And so, yeah, I remember that time you said this certain thing, and, you know.
So you're helping them remember that event, keep it in mind. The more you hear about it, the more you will remember it. So much of it just falls out of our heads, you know, from when we were young.
Yeah.
So.
And even they come up with stories that I forgot. You know, their perception of what happened, or some event that I completely forgot about. That's really funny.
Yeah.
when they come back at you with stuff like, I said this or I did this, I don't remember doing that. God, it was bad. But yeah, so they have their own stories that they throw back. It's pretty good.
Yes, we should ask our kids more about that, right?
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Well, David, it's been wonderful talking to you. I appreciate you taking the time to just sit down with me, and I love what you're doing. You're helping other people too. So you're making the world a better place in your own way.
Well, thank you.
And I really appreciate that.
And I'll throw that back at you because, you know, to meet you finally after all these years, seeing you on the small screen, and Charlie, you know, you were in there too. Man, that's really great. I can't believe it. There you are, sitting right there.
Wow. Well, it's just as fun for me to meet somebody from my community, so that's great.
Good.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I hope you found this interview with David Delgado interesting and informative. Again, you'll find the link to the prior video in this series below this video. If you haven't subscribed yet to this channel, I invite you to do so by clicking on the subscribe button below the video, and then click the bell button after subscribing to be notified when I post a new video. This is Linda Satgas with FamilyHistoryHero.com, where we show you how to conquer your boxes of photos so you can become the family history hero for your family.